Now, a couple of days ago, many of you already know that NIO announced that their segment chip company Shenji under NIO just got the first round of funding worth $300 million or over $300 million, which is something that is very, very interesting, right? I mean, Shenji, as a subsidiary of NIO Main Group, came in or was introduced back in February of this year, and to know that obviously now NIO has already secured its first funding with this company, it is a great thing, or it was a great thing. Under this new funding, NIO will continuously be developing chips for autonomous driving, and these chips will be much cheaper than the first chip that NIO did for autonomous driving, which is NX9031 chip. Now, the reason why I'm giving you that background is because now we just read that apparently there is a chip that NIO producing that chip, they partnered with another company, and they are now presenting it to other automakers. You will remember very well that just last week, or during the Q3 earnings, or during the Q4 earnings, NIO CEO flagged that their second autonomous chip it's already on a mass production phase, right? And there are some third party clients that are already testing this, either robotics or for cars. So it is so great, and that was so great to hear that from NIO to say that, look, there are companies out there that could be preparing to start paying NIO for using their chips, which is absolutely great. Now, as seen on the screen, the company, or this company that I want to talk to you about, the partnership of NIO with Axera. Now, Axera and NIO are partners, or NIO Shenji, right? Not just NIO. NIO Shenji, which is the chip business. They are partners, and right now, as I'm doing this video, apparently they are pitching their new M97 chip to automakers, which the computing power of this chip, it's around 700 computing power, or it has 700 computing power, which is something that is very interesting. Now, the purpose of this chip, apparently, now why NIO is presenting this to other automakers or pitching this is because it is better than the Horizon Robotics chip J6P, which is slated for a release in third quarter, right? Apparently, NIO approached Leapmotor, has already approached Leapmotor, Geely, following the successful tap out of the new smart driving chip. NIO subsidiary Genitech, or Shenji, co-developed this M97 chip with a local chip maker, like I said, Axera. And following the successful tap out, the two are actively pitching the product to the potential clients such as Leapmotor, Geely, outlet. This was reported, by the way, yesterday. Now, the reason why NIO is presenting, or it's going to present this chip to automakers, is because that J6P chip, which is expected to come in the third quarter, it looks like there are already people or other automakers that are already eyeing for that chip, and the NIO coming with this M97 chip with a computing power of 700. It shows you that this chip, that NIO and Axera developed, it's more powerful than what is coming right from the other company. I mean, M97 has got 700 computing power. J6P has got 560 computing power. Now, NIO unveiled, you'll remember this, their first autonomous driving chip, Shenji NX9031 chip, back in December of 2023 during NIO Day, which is absolutely great. And to see that already Shenji, it is doing so well when it comes to autonomous driving upgrades onto latest NIO cars, you and me can agree that NIO really knows what they are doing in the chip side of the business. And can you now start imagining what would happen in terms of NIO's revenues that they collect from this chip business? I'm telling you, it's going to be so crazy, it's going to be so massive, because not only is this M97 chip that NIO is currently, or has made it to tap, is currently mass producing now, is having a decent, pretty decent computing power, but it is also way cheaper than the NX9031 chip. This is what NIO said. Now take cognizant of the fact that in terms of the size, in terms of how it looks like, it will still be the 5nm like the NX9031 chip, which is something that is just so good. So yeah, man, it's so amazing to know, to see that NIO, it is unlocking another, could potentially unlock massive revenues from leasing, from selling this chip to the other competitors or EV competitors out there. It looks like this chip that the other company, J6P, apparently the previous chip was restricting uh, car makers when it comes to autonomous driving, right? It had a lot of restrictions, and NIO, that is where they saw a loophole, and this chip, part of what they are using as a to win the clients is is these restrictions that some of these chip makers are putting when they are selling their chips to the automakers in China. So NIO and NIO and Axera are pitching this, and this is a golden opportunity for NIO. I like what I see. I think we should brace ourselves for what is coming, because look, NIO is cooking, and is cooking something big. If you thought the chip segment of NIO under Shenji was just something NIO trying out this chip business, or trying out making chips, you have to think again, because the moves, or the kind of moves that NIO is making right now, you and me can agree that NIO is serious about penetrating this market, and they will ensure that obviously they dominate in this market, and and they generate tons and tons of revenues under their Shenji segment, which is something that we look forward to. But anyways, I do not want to make this video too long. Tell me what you think about this. Blue sky is coming, long term will win. Those that are persevering throughout the headwinds of the share price will most definitely be rewarded with time. It does take me some time to create this kind of content, which is why I ask you to like, to subscribe, to hit or click that notification bell, so that at least you can be notified by YouTube every time I drop a new content. I will see you on the next one. That is all from me, my dear friends. Let's GDN.